Hey everybody, it's Dr. Lavell. I want to talk to you about a condition that affects many of you called Irritable Bowel Syndrome or IBS. Many of you are not sure how to deal with this condition, and there's a variety of factors that are at play. But one of the most common things we see are food sensitivities. So, sensitivities are foods you're having an immune reaction to, not to the point of an allergy where you're getting like a histamine response, where your skin is breaking out. You're not going to get to that point, but what happens is you maybe get an upset stomach or diarrhea or loose stools. So a lot of times these foods that are upsetting us, you get sensitivity. A lot of you are familiar with celiac disease, which is a gluten allergy. So that's a true immune reaction. But you also have what's called non-celiac gluten sensitivity or NCGS. And that's a real common thing where people can tolerate a certain amount of gluten, and then after that, you're going to react. So think of it like a bucket that has a hole in the bucket, and you're filling it up with water. Now, that bucket can only drain as fast as the water comes out. So, as long as you're pouring that water in slow enough, that bucket will drain. Well, if you add too much too fast, that's going to overflow. And when that overflows, generally you're going to get symptoms. And some of those symptoms manifest as things like IBS. So that's the first thing to consider is food sensitivities. How is the best way to track that? Well, we can test you. We can do what's called a IgG food sensitivity panel. You can get that through me. It's a wonderful test we can do, test you for 270 different foods. It's not a diagnostic test because, again, we're not looking for an allergy, but it is going to give us a good idea of foods you're reacting to. And then the next thing we want to look at is consider an elimination diet. So many of you have heard of that. What you're going to do is you're just going to journal everything you eat every day and everything you drink. And then you'll note how you feel at the end of the day. Hey, my stools were well formed. Hey, I had a little bit of gas or bloating. Whatever it may be, you'll start to notice commonalities on days you feel bad with certain things you eat. Then you'll eliminate that food and see if your symptoms improve. If they do, then you know it's either that food specifically or something within that food. Sometimes it could be an additive and things like that. But food journaling is one of my secret weapons to help people figure out what they're reacting to. And typically, we're going to eliminate that food for a period of time. With food sensitivity testing, we're going to be able to see, do we need to eliminate it 3 months, 6 months, a year? It'll give us a good idea. Food journaling, you're not going to have that information, but typically if you avoid it for about 6 months, reintroduce that food and see how you react. That's a good way to check. So that's where we look at food sensitivity training, testing, and that's one of the best things we want to look at when we're dealing with a condition like IBS.